Give it a minute to catch up everywhere, all the streams, and then I'll welcome everyone. All right, I think we are live. Hopefully we are everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Hope you can all see us out there. Welcome. My name is Amanda Schaefer. I am an attorney, and you are tuning into Are You Smarter Than a Naturalized Citizen, episode 13. I'm a little excited and shocked that we got to 13, that people still are interested, but that is great because what we do here is we combine some education and some fun. Hopefully you'll have fun. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit. While we let people arrive so they don't miss the very important coin toss and intros, a couple quick announcements and a little intro into naturalization. So first announcement, of course, don't forget to like us, follow us, share us on all the social medias. Our contact information is all included in the event page for this. You also, for the private attorneys here, have an email address and a phone number. We're here to help if you're in California, need it in the Riverside area. Well, we'll get to that in a second on who you can help, Dre. So don't forget to do all that. Second, what is naturalization? Well, there's 4 ways. I guess the better question would be, how do you become a U.S. citizen? And there are 4 ways to become a U.S. citizen by the law. 1, you're born here. Boom, done. Second, you naturalize. So you enter as a permanent resident. You have a green card for a certain number of years, and you meet other qualifications. Boom, naturalization. The third is acquisition of citizenship. And that is if you're born outside the U.S. to U.S. parents, and you kind of get it automatically in that sense. And the last is if you derive citizenship. Oh, no, sorry, I always make that mistake. That's the one that's automatic. And it's automatic because when your parent naturalizes, if you're under 18 and meet the other conditions, you automatically are a U.S. citizen as well. So those are the 4 main categories. The biggest way people become U.S. citizens, or the most popular categories, is obviously birth or naturalization. In order to naturalize, really, really quick, brief overview of what you need to naturalize. 1, you need to be 18 or older, continuously reside in the U.S. 2, you have to satisfy physical presence requirement. 3, you got to be a good person. Hopefully no arrests. Okay. 4, you have to be a permanent resident. So someone who has a green card. And then 5, well, I'll say 5A. 5A, you got to pass the English test. So you got to read 3 lines in English, write down 3 lines in English, and then 3B, or 4B, it was 4 I said. 4, whatever, it doesn't matter. 5A, 5B. I'm getting myself confused for no reason. For 5B, you got to pass the civics test, and that's what we're here to do today. So normally, if you're going to a naturalization interview, you're going to get 10 tries to get 6 questions correct. If you don't, you can't become a citizen. You usually get at least 1 more try. Because 6 goes by pretty quickly, if it's okay with you ladies, we're going to see who can get to 10 first. Does that work?
Definitely.
Okay. You could keep track of your own score, and if you get to 6 first, by all means, claim bragging rights at the end of the day. But for show purposes, you win when you reach 10. I will not tell you who's in the lead, but again, if you're a math whiz and can keep those numbers up there, go ahead. It's just more exciting when it's a surprise. The most important rule, the absolute most important rule, as I told you at our practice, you cannot buzz in until I finish reading the question. We didn't have any. Normally I get somebody in the practice to do it. I didn't get it, either of you to do it. So watch out. I'm tricky with that. If you do buzz in too early, you forfeit your turn for the round. Your opponent gets to answer, doesn't lose any points if she gets it wrong. So she only has to get. I take these questions, these answers verbatim, word for word from USCIS. These are the same questions, exact questions that if you were naturalizing, you would go in and be asked. And these are the exact answers that the USCIS officer would look at and say if your answer was close enough to the answer in their answers. So that gives our final rule, which is that I'm the judge, jury, and executioner here. Just like if I was a USCIS officer, the only person you gotta convince it's right is me. And I'm not here, there's no bias in my interpretation. I try to put myself in their shoes. So those are the rules. Do either of you have any questions, or can we get into the game?
No questions.
Okay. Before I turn the game on, though, we're going to flip a coin to see who's going to choose categories first. We got a little Jeopardy mixed in the bunch. So if you've seen my show before, when I am able to find this coin, this is from the 1968 Tokyo Olympics. When I can steady my hand, you can see there are bodies and heads on the back. There is the Olympic rings in some circle. This will be the tail side. I'm going to throw it in the air, and I'm going to have Dre call it in the air.
Heads.
It is tails. So, Momita, would you like to go first or defer to the second half?
I'll go first.
That's a good idea because there's no second half. Okay. So far 9 out of 10 choose second half. Never know why. That's okay. So we're gonna get into the game. Let us and by the way, if you're watching, you want to cheer for someone, we love your comments and your cheers. Hopefully the technology works and it shows up. If I see you writing in anywhere, if I see your comment, I'll totally say hi, and I'm sure my contestants will too if they're able to see them. But it's been a little bit of a pain lately, and we're having some type of tornado outside. I just heard the emergency signal go off. So a little crazy weather. Hopefully we're all good here. But let's get this screen up right now. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it's just me. Yep, there we are. Will that be better? Nope, still just me. Okay. All right. I accidentally, of course, messed up my screen sizes. All right. Oh, I gotta get the music. That's the only thing we're missing. Intro music. Okay, I'm your host, attorney Amanda Schaefer. As you could probably hear by my accent, I am born and bred in New York. Yankees turning it around a little bit. Like, I'm still having trouble watching, but come on, wild card. My fun fact for today, I'm going to get to after I give you my quote for today, but it's about this hashtag follow attorney Amanda, the attorney Amanda being me. I am located in New York, practice immigration, criminal, family law. I am proud to be an American because of our Constitution. Although written in 1787, it is still relevant today. And the reason for that is, despite some of the negatives of our founding fathers, they were were able to, in a way, see into the future. And by that, I mean, know that if you're going to write a contract between a people to form a nation in 1787, that if human civilization lives for 100, 200 years, things are going to change in the world. And obviously this world is much different, but we're still able to adapt our basic principles. And because of that, we're a long-standing democracy in history. So for that, I am grateful today for being an American. Bring up my pictures. So this most important. This happens to be my dog Joey's birthday. He's the birthday boy. He's 7. Want to just wish Joey a happy birthday. Fun fact. Then hashtag follow attorney man. This is what I was talking about. So Law Firm Suite is the management company where my office space is leased. and we've been there since 2009. And there's a lot of other small firms, different law firms, single practitioners in one suite. So it's nice. You have the networking and everything. So they had asked me to do a vlog series about my journey into social media marketing. So I've dubbed myself the chief marketing officer of my firm because I'm the only one who does it, and there's only me and my brother-in-law in the firm, who's Aaron, the partner. So basically, I'm an amateur doing things that I should have a professional doing, and I've done a decent job. I thought of this game. I put it all together myself. Our social media presence is pretty good. So every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, they release a new video. This one was about the timing of when you do things, like when you do a show like this, if it matters. These are short videos. They're between like 3 and 10 minutes long each topic. But if you're out there marketing, whether you're a lawyer or somebody else, might give you some, I teach you about some of the products I use and why I use it and stuff. So it might help, it might not. If anything, I get to hear myself talk. So I'm proud of it, but I encourage you guys to tune in. I post it usually when I get around the day or two after they post it. So follow Law Firm Suites. This is Twitter. They're on Facebook too. I think Instagram. Check it out. You might learn a thing or two, or not. Either way, it's a good time. I recommend. Enough about me. Let's meet our contestants. Contestant number 1, can you please introduce yourself?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mamita Rahman. I am an immigration attorney. Fun fact, I am also naturalized. I believe I naturalized since I'm in college. And another fun fact, today is the 11-year anniversary of my law firm. So we've been going strong for 11 years. And yeah, and I'm originally born in Bangladesh and moved to the US when I was 5 and have grown up mostly in New York. And I have also spent some time in Texas and back in New York. This is where my family is, and happy to be here.
Well, we're happy for having you. And I just want to make sure our viewers, because I guess I'm dating myself. Dude, where's my green card? Do you guys know where that's from? Or my joke's just not going to land on this audience.
Well, there's a fun story behind that. There's a fun story behind that, which I'll explain. So being that I am naturalized, when I was in college, before I had a license, before I had anything else, I only had my Bangladeshi passport, and it was a little embarrassing to take that Bangladeshi passport of myself with my picture when I'm 8 years old into places that I need to get into when you're 18 and over. So I started to use my green card as my ID, and I lost it one day. So when I went for my naturalization interview and I didn't have any proper ID, I had to get it rescheduled, much to my mother's chagrin. I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly.
You are. And yes, and it's also a very intelligent movie about some dude who lost his car, which I recommend to all of you. But I'm glad that you had that all sorted out, because I mean, we all know now how stressful clients are when they're going to those interviews, and not having something like that. Whew, I wouldn't want. It's, as you can see though, things can be dealt with. It's okay. We're all going to be okay. And so we are very glad that was resolved. And so then, now that you are an American, why are you proud to be one?
I'm proud to be an American because I still think that the U.S. is the ideal. We are far from perfect because of many things, but because of many other things, to me, this still remains the land of opportunity and of freedom and of unity in so many different ways that doesn't exist in other countries. So that is why I am proud to be an American.
Well, we very much appreciate you sharing. And before I let you off the hook, what are we looking at here?
These are a variety of pictures I thought everyone might enjoy. The very first one is of my mother, me, my younger brother, and my father. This is in 1988 or around that time. We are here on the Staten Island ferry, or the ferry to Ellis Island, to go visit the Statue of Liberty. So I thought that was a special picture.
Keep me pointed.
The picture in the middle is of me in second grade. And am I dating myself with those lasers in the background or what?
They're the best thing I've ever seen today.
And the picture on the other side is of us going to school. You can see we're all proudly dressed. I don't think I think, especially when you're an immigrant, it's really, for parents, it's really important how you come off and that you're dressed appropriately, even wearing a bow tie for school.
Well, that is adorable. And thank you very much for sharing and for being on the show. We appreciate having you. I'm excited to see. I don't try to set up someone who naturalizes or someone who doesn't, but I feel like it's a little bit exciting when we do, just because of the name of the show. Which, if you're watching, I learned this mistake too. And don't get what the name of the show is a reference to. It is a reference to a show called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader that used to air, I think, like on NBC. And the person who proposed it, Aggie Mangone, if you know her, she's a naturalized citizen. So I'm like, oh, other people know this. And I thought it was a great idea. And then I had another client who's French, and she's been here for like 5 years, and she's like, I've never heard of that. So it sounds a lot different. I still like it, so I went with it. Check it out. It's a funny show. It's a play off of that in that sense, but I'm not trying to make either of you look silly. This is a game of reflexes, if anything. If I'm going to come down hard, it's going to be on your reflexes. All right, guys? I promise you that. All right. We have one more contestant to meet. Contestant number 2, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Andrea Garcia, and I'm a Riverside County Public Defender. Riverside County is located in Southern California. It's about an hour east of LA, sandwiched between LA, San Diego, and Palm Springs. And I am a crimmigration attorney, so
What's the words does that for the viewers who don't know?
Yeah, so I'm a blend between an immigration and a criminal attorney. So I was an immigration attorney in removal defense for 12 years before I joined the public defender's office. And I use my experiences from being an immigration attorney at the public defender's office to advise our public defenders when they're handling a case that's going to plead that involves a foreign-born defendant or a non-citizen client.
That's pretty cool. We thank you for doing that. I know that's hard work, and it's good that actually exists out there. So thank you, Dre. Can you please tell us? Give me 1 second. Always. This will never go perfect. Oh, now I have to reshare it. See, this is what happens with this. I need more arms. Actually, I need more screens. That might help. Okay, contestant number 2. Why are you proud to be an American?
I am proud to be an American citizen because of the ideal it stands for, especially for my ancestors. So I was born here, so it was nothing of my own making to have this great privilege to be an American citizen. But my ancestors came here over 100 years ago, and they were able to immigrate from Mexico on both sides around 1913 during the time of Pancho Villa, I like to say, which is true. There was civil war and revolution happening, and they ended up in the Midwest and settled in the early 1900s. And my family has been able to, flourish every generation and achieve the American dream in many senses. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's pretty cool. And I think our pictures here are related. What are we looking at here?
So this is my most famous ancestor, family member. I think she's my triple, if I get the numbers right, my 3 times over grandma. So like my great
grandma.
Yeah. And so she came around 1912. She was already older at the time and had 11 children.
Wow.
And she crossed the border. The story goes alone as a single mom. and she settled in Kansas City, Missouri, where I was born and raised. And today she has, probably 1,000 descendants. And every so often, as these pictures show, my family has a family reunion. And so there's a picture from 1987 in there and a picture from 2015. But they've been having the family reunions for many, many decades, and it keeps growing. And it was in the newspaper, the Kansas City Star, in 2015. So her nickname is Mama Kita. So,
how many of your family remains in Kansas City?
I have a lot of family in Kansas City. I also have, this is on my father's side, and then I also have my mother's side. So I have just like directly family members who are alive. Most of my aunts and uncles live there. My parents live there. My dad lives in the vicinity, not in Kansas City anymore. But funny, my brother and I, which we are my parents' only children, we both live in Southern California.
Well, there you go. I have one more little share, and I know I'm going to end up messing this up. Stop. But hopefully it goes smoothly as I talk myself into believing that. Okay. Let me get to the top. Oh, I just made it bigger. Just kidding. Okay. Who is this?
Okay, so this is a local band from Kansas City called Making Movies, but they play Americana music, and they were Grammy nominated in 2019. And one of the drummers and original founding members of the band, Juan Carlos, is my cousin and also a descendant of Mama Kita. And so they are super involved in immigrants' rights, and their message is about immigration and humanity and human rights. And I just want to plug them because they're amazing. And we need all kinds of people to spread the message about immigration, and immigrants are humans, and this is a human issue. And so lawyers, musicians, nurses, doctors, everybody. And they're just a great band.
That's really cool. So is it like your first cousin, your second cousin?
No. So this is kind of crazy. So I did not necessarily grow up with Juan Carlos, but I knew his parents. And he's 7 years younger than me. And but I know his family. And the interesting thing is, so how do I explain this? So he is my cousin because Mama Kita had 2 daughters, Concepcion and Carlota. And she had a lot of kids, right? But 2 of them, if I'm getting the generational thing right, they married 2 brothers that were Garcias, and they were Henry and Cristobal. And this is like 1930s, they got married. So 2 sisters married 2 brothers from a different family. And so we come from that lineage. So I think our families stuck together longer because they had the double marriage, kind of like a Pride and Prejudice theme or something. That's what I think about it as. But we recently reconnected, and this is why I want to plug him, because he did a really great favor for me and played a private event that was amazing. And I've seen him lately.
Which one is he?
Which one is he?
Yeah.
He's the one on this picture with the gray hat and the glasses.
With the sweet goatee?
Gray pants and the goatee, yeah.
All right. You guys both like cool glasses, I see. I can tell you're related then. This is really cool. So if you can see the Facebook chat, or not just Facebook chat, like it's supposed to be the general chat, I put this website in there. So if you want to check them out, if you're watching, I'll also, after this is over, put it in the comments. So we'll make sure we plug them and give them a shout out. But cool. That's really cool. I haven't actually, you told me about this, I think I don't even know, 2 days ago. I haven't had a chance to listen yet, but I am really excited to do so. I love their swag. Whenever I love swag, I'm in. All right. Well, now let me try to reshare this screen again so we can really, that's the wrong thing. I'm having a hard time today. Sorry, guys. share screen. I'm doing more switching than normally. This is why I stick to what I do. All right, we're back and ready for this game. Okay, so Momita, you won. Oh, guys, make sure your buzzer, you like refresh or whatever you got to do. Okay, I think you're good. So Momita, you get first choice. You won the coin toss earlier. Let's do it to it. What category?
Right. Let's do system of government.
System of government. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Hopefully my mouse shows. There we go. Okay. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? Dre.
2 years.
2 years. That is correct. And you know how this game works. It is your board.
Colonial period and independence.
Ooh, I'm going to stop doing that. Colonial period and independence. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Momita.
Africans.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Final answer. Africans. That is correct. And I got pen on me, but good news is it's your board.
I'll do 1800s.
1800s.
Oh, can you clear me? Okay.
I got you. Name one. So the answer is going to list multiple, but we are only required to do one. So I only get one from you. The first one you say. One more. Fought by the US of A in the 1800s. Dre.
The Spanish-American War.
That's a good question. Let's find out. War of 1812, Spanish-American War. I skipped. Mexican-American War, Civil War, Spanish-American War. That is correct. And honestly, I don't know why people don't always say War of 1812. All I know about the War of 1812 was that it was in 1812. That's all you need to know. All right. Dre, you're bored.
Okay. Geography.
Geography. It's torrential downpour here. It's nuts. Okay. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. Momita.
The Mississippi River.
Can you spell that for me?
M-I-S. Yes, I can. Maybe not.
Do you know the song?
You really want me to spell it? Okay. Mississippi.
You added an extra ISS. Very easy song. Let's find out your answer first. We got the Missouri and the Mississippi, which is, of course, correct. Mississippi. No, I'm the only one who learned that growing up. All right.
That's like a football thing, isn't it?
No, I learned that I grew up in New York and learned that in like elementary school. You know, little mnemonic device with rhythm. Mississippi. You will never get it wrong. You teach your kids. Okay. And it is your board, Momita.
All right, let's do, flash flood warning. Let's do symbols.
Symbols. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Momita.
1 star for each of the 50 states.
Final answer.
Yes, final answer.
All right. I gave you my trick with the final answer. 50 states, that is correct. Dre, back to you.
Principles of American government.
Principles of American government. What are not one, but two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Momita with the fast finger.
Oh my gosh. The right to liberty and the right to pursuit of happiness.
Liberty, pursuit of happiness. Let us find out. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That is correct. It is also back to you. Your board. Andrew, your buzzer is working? Andre, I'm sorry. Your buzzer working?
It's working.
Okay. Momita, category.
Let's do the recent American history.
I'm not even, oh, I got, Alexa was making noises for no reason. She distracted me. Recent American history and other historical information. Who was president during World War I? Dre.
Franklin Roosevelt. Oh, shit. Wrong one. That's... do I get another chance?
Were you asked final answer yet?
No, Woodrow Wilson.
Final answer.
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. Now you're going to get two things right now because that's an unspecifically defined rule at the beginning that until I go to the next page, you get a chance to correct yourself. But I don't like to seem biased. It wasn't established. Is that fair to say? We didn't establish that line? That I'm not looking like I'm favoring one of the, I have a very big responsibility as host and I pride myself in it. So you're going to get two things right now. You're going to, yes, that was correct. But because you guys are also pretty good at this, and I don't know if we're going to get to see it, we're going to also give you a sad guy. We are going to add a point to the board because that is how I would have handled it. I didn't ask you right away if that was your final answer. And in fact, I don't always ask if there's a final answer, but as long as you don't see the answer, if you correct yourself, that's okay. Everybody on board for that?
Yes.
Okay. But it is your board.
Okay. Wait, my board? Okay. How about rights and responsibilities?
Rights and responsibilities. Wouldn't do any yet. What are two rights? Oh, this is similar but different. Of everyone living in the United States. Momita.
The right to freedom of speech, the right to bear arms.
So you're going with freedom of speech and bear the right to bear arms.
The rights of all persons. Yeah, well, let's
rights
go
of
with
everyone.
Everyone, right. So let's go with freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, final answer.
Final answer.
Final answer. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of religion, and the right to bear arms. And what's weird about the last one is that literally means the right to have a set of bare arms hanging. Have you ever? No? All right. I will blame Family Guy for that bad joke. If you check out the clip, it's actually really funny. Anyways, that was correct. And we're back to you, Momita, for category.
Let's go to holidays.
Holidays for 100 divided by 100. Name two national U.S. holidays.
Oh.
Dre.
Martin Luther King Day and Christmas.
Oh, let's find out. New Year's Day. Martin Luther King Day.
We're having a flood right now. Oh my God.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, we're having a flood right now.
Holy tamale. You're in Brooklyn, right?
Flood. Oh my God.
Has it flood there?
Connect.
ladies and gentlemen, these are to the technical problems that I was hoping we wouldn't have. I mentioned Momita is not too, I don't know exactly where she is. I know we're both in the city.
Wow.
So I know she's not too far. And I was getting distracted and looking because I was just hearing this, like, last time I heard rainfall like that was like a hurricane.
Should we, I don't know, do you want to pause game and resume another day or another time?
What? Let's give it a few minutes to see if she gets back in. I'll remove her frozenness.
Okay.
Well, maybe why don't we watch? I see that we can play hopefully a video.
Yeah.
From their site, like the Spotify, I wasn't signing into. But let's.
I think YouTube has videos.
Tonight, you're in for a spicy treat.
This is one.
Performing for the first time on American television, making movies.
So bad at this. Hold on.
Come here, babe, my little American dream, and sing something sweet to me. Yeah, sing something sweet. Oh, you only lived on movie screens. You were my own little queen. They killed you in the final scene. I've been lied to time and time again. Now I'm tired. Yes, I'm tired again. And would you let me begin? See, I sold my soul to an old machine. Maybe I like making shitty things. I guess I like making shitty things. Between you and me, is there no one clean? We all ate from the forbidden tree. Was sweet, would you agree? Now I'm used up like an old syringe. Pull it out. I'm tired of giving in. Look at the state I'm in. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Sold my soul down in New Orleans. I guess I just ran out of steam. The lights are out and the lines are dead. We're waiting as the flood recedes. I don't even know what I mean. Would we know if it's the end? I've been lied to time and time again. I'm tired. Yes, I'm tired of killing it. How do I get to the end? Why am I here again? So tired of being alone.
right. Let me.
I
Don't worry. I've been I had to actually pause my YouTube feed.
Yeah. I mean, she was playing in a natural disaster against me and winning. So, I mean, she could just I'll forfeit it to her. That's easier.
Well, she sent me a picture.
Okay.
And it is it's a waterfall. So I told her, go fix that. We'll all three of us will get a time, we'll finish. I told like that, don't even worry about that. That's absolutely insane.
Yes.
This is live, folks. I mean,
live TV.
You can't. You could look at the time and then look at what is happening in the tri-state area in New York City, and I
completely sunny out here in California.
I had no choice but to walk my dogs at 8 p.m. tonight for their final walk because they do not do torrential downpour. All right. I am really sorry to our audience, and I'm sure Momita is too, that I'm more sorry for her dealing with that than she should feel for having to ditch early. But we will finish out the game. It is real tight, like neck and neck. I mean, despite her problems, she was still doing great. You were still doing great. You could still easily pull it out. So we're gonna find this time in the next week or so. We'll finish it up. We'll get back here. I really hope her apartment's okay, because that.
I hope it's okay too, and all her equipment. She had all her electronics out. So.
Yeah, it was like directly, and yeah, that didn't look good. I hope they have rental insurance or mortgage insurance. If I don't know if they own or buy, but these are the times that you do. You really want to have stuff like that. Anyways, so yeah, that is nuts. I'm speechless, so I'm going to just keep talking about nothing if I don't cut myself off. But we will definitely back. As soon as I have that time and date, we'll put up another announcement. We'll give the link so everyone can get back. We'll get to our winner, and we'll get to hear the last few questions. So, Andrea, I really, this is like what we've been through this week with these technologies. Yeah. It's always, I mean, this time it was the water, but on the technology. So either way,
actual physical problem with the technology.
I mean, apparently it's 3 years earlier there, 3 hours earlier there too. So you should go out and enjoy your lovely sun that you have every day of the week. I'm gonna go get blown away in
I'm so sorry. Be careful. I need to check the news on the weather there. I'm just totally oblivious right now, I have to tell you. But
yeah. Yes, we'll be back, and I will give out some more information about your cousin's band too. Thank you for sharing that. At least we had something fun to show. I figured out what was happening. So yeah, if you're actually still watching me mumble on, thank you for sticking with us. And check back, like us, follow us on Facebook. That's the easiest way to know when it's going to come back. Otherwise, I'll be posting up, so keep your eyes out. And Dre, I'll see you. I'm sure we'll be in touch before then, but either way, I will see you shortly.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.